Shalom, call Limelight Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well over the whole lake, the house of David, and a sincere shalom to the house of David, which is the 144,000, the whole lake, which is the 1/3, who's tuning into the truth and pushing the truth with all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth where we have been scattered. Now this migrant crisis is in the eyes of these people is getting out of hand, right? You know, they're saying that in the millions, they're letting in millions and millions of migrants, and all the videos I've seen, all the videos on the internet for the most part, where it shows these people coming into Babylon the Great, you know, these immigrants resting here in Babylon the Great, is predominantly men, you know, fighting age men. All right, they look like they're in shape. Okay, they don't look, you know, overweight. Not a lot. I don't really see a lot of women. You know, it's like 80-90% men. All right. Why is this happening? Well, it's a setup because you know, under I believe it was Barack Obama, right before I think it was right before he left office in 2016. I believe it was right before he left office. He signed that the UN could come into America and you know set up their own little martial law if the U.S. citizens, if you know the whole entire United States U.S. citizens went to rebellion mode, right? Riots, destruction, right? And that's coming, all right. You know, to quell chaos in America, I believe it was something along the lines of that. They call UN, they call them blue hatters, right? So this setup is not a theory, right? This has already been written. And these quote unquote migrants coming in is very suspicious. And what makes it even more suspicious is that they're setting up these migrant camps, right next to Jake, right? They setting up these migrant camps where Jake resides. Now, of course, there's multiple reasonings behind that, but regardless, you still got to take heed. Now, let's play this quick little video right here, and then we'll dive into the scriptures.
Right now, a Southside community in need is preparing for potential new neighbors. The city has proposed turning an empty parking lot into a tent base camp for migrants.
CBS 2's Sabrina Franza is live in Roseland tonight, where a packed community meeting just wrapped up. Sabrina.
This church, it was at capacity. Some of the neighbors were standing outside. The Q&A lasted about an hour, and most people had the same question. Is there a tent base camp coming to 115th and Halstead? At first, the alderman said, not likely. Then he said, not promised.
At this time, it is not likely that a tent or migrants, asylum seekers, will be housed at that site.
The site in question, 115th and Halstead, a huge empty parking lot that our sources say is a proposed location for a base camp for migrants capable of housing 1,400 people.
This is a decision
that's a lot of people, okay? 1,400. That's a platoon. You know, you can have 1,400 UN troops housed there, and have them, you know, with AI, they can command and control multiple neighborhoods, man. You know, this is Ecclesiasticus 5:15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. This is very you gotta you know think you gotta pay attention to this. This is millions of people coming to millions of men coming into Babylon the Great. All right, I seen videos. I think I did videos on it of this man. I don't know what he was, but he was in Panama. I think he was a scientist or social worker or something, and he was seeing all these Chinese men paying $10,000-$20,000 to get into America. These Chinese men, all right? It's very, very suspicious. Okay.
made in between the mayor's office and the owners of the site.
Mayor Brandon Johnson met with Alderman Ronnie Mosley last week to talk about it. To be clear, the mayor doesn't have to ask permission.
the decision is not necessarily one with the aldermen.
Which is one reason why when news broke of this proposed location, the aldermen decided to host this heated meeting.
Take that back to Mayor Brandon Johnson.
And these same Jakes, man, especially these women, they don't want these migrants or whatever, but at the same time they still going to Esau for help. All right, and that's what they're doing right now. They're trying to. Jake ain't controlling nothing. They going to Esau to stop Esau from bringing in these migrants, which is more than likely these UN troops. Okay, this is Isaiah 31:1. Help not in Egypt, but in the Most High. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. So these Jakes, these Jakes here, man, they are too comfortable with Esau in this society. You know, even even in Egypt, Jake was real comfortable in Egypt too. Jake wanted to go back to Egypt. In fact, let's get that account. Jake wanted to go back to Egypt. This is Numbers 12, not Numbers 12. I think it's Numbers 5 and 12. Let me see. Numbers 11. This is the book of Numbers, which was written by Moses. Numbers 11, and I'm going to start from the top, verse 1. And when the people complained, it displeased Yahweh. And Yahweh heard it, and his anger was kindled. And the fire of Yahweh burnt among them, and consumed them that were in the uttermost part of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses, and when Moses prayed unto Yahweh, the fire was quenched. So there was always that mediator there, right? All right. Jake wicked as hell. All right. Jake is very wicked, and they have a lot of trust in these damn devils, man. I mean, look at them, and you see, and as you can see, there's no coincidence that in this photo you see a lot of women. All right, you see a lot of so-called black women, right? I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, it's at least 60 to 70% women in that room, man. This is verse 5. We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. So these Jake, these women was doing it the most, man. Was complaining. They want to go back to captivity, man. And you best believe these people in this room is no different.
That your constituents said no.
CBS 2 had reached out to the alderman multiple times for comment and did not hear back until before this meeting. We have the same question as many of these neighbors.
Are you telling us that the 115th Street site is off the table?
Permanently, no.
This site was supposed to become a housing and retail development for Chicagoans. 15 million state.
So like I've been saying, man, and these scriptures been saying, and everybody else that subscribed to the true doctrine, Jake is waiting for Esau to make things right. Okay, the majority of our people are like that, and it's never gonna happen. They talking about these new. Ain't none of this happening. Esau hates your ass, man. Esau hates you. And just because he gives these women little victuals, that's to oppress the whole nation. That wasn't for women to have a one up. That was to oppress the whole nation.
have already been allocated to build it. The developer was at today's meeting.
There's a backlog of housing right now, and people in this community need housing.
Housing, park space, and other resources many in this community say they should not have to hold out for.
I want to be.
You know, I seen it was some Edomites, man, and this was before the migrants even came in. These Edomites was making the count that these migrants are gonna put pressure on a so-called black community, and it clearly is. But guess what? In these times to come, Jake is gonna lose it. Oh yeah, Jake. I mean, it was I think it was in Philly. Jake was on a highway robbery of iPhone stores and clothing stores. So Jake, when things get real rough, these GMO babies is really gonna lay that hammer, and these migrants are too.
Here, it is not that we do not empathize with their situation as historically marginalized and oppressed people, but we are saying as a community that we will not continue to.
Look at it, a so-called nigga woman, got a mohawk, blonde hair, and she's obese. Come on, man.
Wait.
Now, that project you heard about is supposed to break ground in 2024, and we spoke to the developer. Even he had some questions about.
Lord willing, we don't even see the end or even the beginning of 2024, man. We gotta get the fuck out of here. All right. Of course, there's a lot of prophecies that gotta come to pass, but things are gonna speed up. This is Jeremiah 51:9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. So you got all these migrants coming in. Of course, you know some of these migrants are genuinely coming to Babylon the Great for potential better life. You know, maybe the country they live in is worse off than Babylon the Great is at this very moment. But the judgment that's coming to this place is gonna be so catastrophic and evil that people are gonna dip up out of here, man. No matter what, boats, on foot, plane, all types of madness. This is transportation. Jeremiah 50:13. Because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. So these people that come here for a better life, oh nah, man, those days are finna end. All right, now of course, you know there's still countries out there that are in worse conditions than the U.S. But these days, as the years, as the months and the weeks go by, this place is gonna get worse and worse and worse, and then it's gonna be full blown lawlessness, man. It's gonna be evil, especially these Edomites, because those are the bases of men. These Edomites are gonna be having cannibal barbecue pits, man. With this in this, oh yeah, these Edomites gonna get down like that. They're gonna get a whole bunch of grills and start cooking people. 'Cause that's how evil these times are gonna be. It's not gonna be pretty. And that's just some low level stuff right there, man. The Heavenly Father is really gonna put the smack down on this place. This is Jeremiah 50:23. How was the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? And we see this the build up to that. And 2024 is going to be a hell of a year for this collapse of this wicked nation. And you Edomites are going to get that full blunt force of that. All right, because the Heavenly Father has a bone to pick with you devils, and these 2/3 too. These 2/3, because it's called Jacob's trouble for a reason. And these 2/3 is going to be put down just alongside these heathen. This is let's finish this video first.
What is going on? Mayor Brandon Johnson did ask each alderperson to name 2 to 3 sites where migrants could potentially be housed. The alderman today, Alderman Mosley, said he had no ideas of any sites in the 21st Ward where that would work. We're live in West Pullman. Sabrina.
And I seen where they have a whole plan, man. They had a blueprint. They showed a blueprint of a building site to for the migrant community in I think it was Chicago. they're going. I don't know if it's like 100% set in stone, but they showed a blueprint of migrant bases. Now you got to ask yourself, why are they building migrant bases in Babylon the Great? I think it's like over 5 million or over a million homeless population just in California alone. It's very suspicious, very very suspicious. This is Jeremiah 25:29. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name. Ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith Yahweh of hosts. So Jake is finna get it. These 2/3 finna get it. These Edomites finna get it. All right, these heathens, these migrants. You know, it's a lot of Jakes. It's a lot of Venezuelans, which are Israelites, and you know Venezuela, they dumped a lot of not military, their prisoner population. They sent a lot of their prisoners here. So you got these savages, okay, these savages, savage wicked Jakes from Venezuela coming up in here in Babylon the Great. So you know crime is gonna skyrocket. Imagine you got all these criminals um in these amongst Jake. So you got more Jake criminals amongst in the hood. You think it's not gonna be crime rate is not gonna skyrocket? Home invasions, especially when the police are gonna say F it, and they're not gonna be coming around. Oh yeah, these times are finna get real evil. And Jake is not gonna know what the hell to do. Jake is gonna be out there with like a chicken with his head cut off. This is Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge of these scriptures shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. And it always starts with a heavenly Father, man. And these people aren't prepared. You know, this migrant crisis is just a little. That's a little. It's a reasonable size drop to the fall of Babylon the Great. Because you gotta understand that the economy is finna get worse next year, and then you got all these events lined up for the final quarter of 2023. You got this October 4th. You got this government shutdown on the 1st potentially, and Joe Biden said it's gonna, if it happens, it's gonna affect the so-called black community, and you know they gonna start blaming things on Jake, man. I mean, they already doing it now. Go on the internet and look around. Go look at what these public speakers, these governments, these politics are saying. They're gonna come after you, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. And you know the majority of projects are near freeways, highways, because Esau's gonna roll. You know, like Esau been rolling on Jake, man. All the times Esau had power and authority on the earth, they rolled on Jake. The Greeks, the Romans, they rolled up on Jake. You had Amalek rolling up on Jake when we was coming out of Egypt. So you think they not gonna roll on Jake again? But this time they really come. They gonna come the hardest they ever came, man. No joke. But that's it for this lesson. Lord's will was edifying. It's Shalom.